And here we are. The first episode of You Can't Do That on Salesforce. Ever. And I've decided that we are going to build Monopoly on Salesforce today. Courtesy of my son. I was talking to him earlier this morning. I was like, what should we build? He's like, you should build a board game. So, let's build a board game. Let's build Monopoly on Salesforce. And let's see what kind of trouble we can get into here. This is my first stream, so I'm going to have to experiment with a few things and make sure I can get this right and keep an eye on the chat, and hopefully y'all can hear me and all that good stuff, because this is new to me, but I think we'll figure this out, sure enough. All right. Well, let's get started. Let's build Monopoly. So I made a scratch org called Monopoly. We'll put this on GitHub after each episode too, so you can follow along with whatever we're building here. But I was trying to think about Monopoly, and I was gonna bring up a file here so we can think about what is Monopoly. I mean, I know what Monopoly is. I know it's a game, but how do we make Monopoly speak Salesforce? What kind of things do we have to have in a Monopoly game to make it work? We need a. I'm gonna just spitball here. I think maybe we need a board. Maybe we need a. What else do you have on a Monopoly board? You got what do you call the property? You got properties. We've got pieces, maybe? Let's see if pieces we need to represent somehow. What else do we need for a Monopoly data model? We need some dice. Somehow we have to figure out how to roll our way around this board. We need cards, right? What do we got? We got community chest, and we got chance cards. All right, not chance cards. So we'll call this our object model. Think about what else do we need. We probably need some way to represent like a game, because man, wouldn't it be cool if people could not do their actual jobs and instead just play Monopoly in Salesforce all day. I think what'll be interesting is to think about how people might play, right? I mean, you could just have like some UI where people go and they can see the board and stuff like that, but maybe there's another way. Like, if I think about the game, I don't want to say the only thing I care about, but the thing I care about is if I'm a player and I'm rolling, is like, where do I end up when I roll? What decisions can I make when I'm there? And what actions are placed upon me? There's some things we have to think about. Money. That's kind of an important part of the game. Properties. You can get hotels, right? You get hotels, houses. We'll have to think about how do those model in here? And let's see, what else might we need out of Salesforce or out of Monopoly? That might be enough to get started. We're going to start messing around and playing with the object model, and then we'll work our way into what this is actually, how this could actually work. I'm working off to the side here a little bit. scratch work here. Let's start with some objects. I'm going to start with a property. All the properties have a name, right? I'll have to find a list of those online. I think we'll use the name as a unique name. Let's do some reporting and some searches, and yeah, let's make a tab. There we go. Property tab, let's pick something property-like. Building. Building. There we go. All right, I'm gonna turn all these off, or make these tab hidden, because we'll make an app for this. We'll make some permission sets for this, so we don't even have to mess around with profiles. We can just give people access to Monopoly by way of permission set. This is usually how I stand up an app. There's a pattern to me that's like, if you can build an app with zero or as little reliance on profiles as possible, it's going to be much more portable. You just have to grant people access to a permission set to do things with it. Maybe we'll need a couple different levels of Monopoly access. Maybe, I don't know if we need an admin versus an end user, but we'll play around with it. But for now, we're not going to add this to anything. Usually what I do when I'm building an app is like I'll set it up like this. Did I hit save? Yeah, I did. I'll set up one object, and then I'll turn around and try to stand up some of the other scaffolding. So I'll go into App Manager, and let's quickly create, or quickly early on in this process, let's create a Lightning app for this. We'll call it Monopoly. I hope I don't get nailed with like copyright issues. Hope not. I'm not trying to cause too much trouble here, but all right. What is this app? It's Monopoly. It's Monopoly. There's a lot of O's in there. On Salesforce. Cool. I don't know how much my clicky keyboard is getting onto the stream here. All right. That looks good. There's our app. We'll go with the defaults here. We probably won't use, maybe a utility bar will come in handy sometime. What did we create? We created properties, right? Properties. Okay, that's our first object in our Monopoly game. Oh, I'm not going to assign this to any profiles. I'm going to do that through a permission set. So let's save and finish here. Okay, that's good. Now I'll immediately flip over to permission sets, and I'm going to stand up I always like to start with like an admin permission set for an app, so we'll call this Monopoly admin, and we'll give full rights to all of the objects and everything else that's associated with this. So now that I have this, I can start piling things on it. I'll go find that app that I just built. There's that, Monopoly. We don't have too many objects yet, but let's start making this a habit. Where's our properties? Properties object, let's edit this. Make the tabs visible, and this user can see everything. Now, the only downside here is like I'm going to have to keep coming back in to this permission set to add stuff, but what are you going to do? I wish that the Salesforce UI, when you're granting permissions to things, would expose the permission sets there too. So you could say, I don't want this, I create a new field. I want to give this permission set these rights to that new field, just like it does with profiles, but we can't do that right now. So that's okay. All right, there's our properties. Now, I need to go on the internet and look at a Monopoly property so we can understand what the heck is on a Monopoly property. Monopoly property cards. Let's see. Oh, here's a nice one. Wait, where'd you go? How's this look? Come on. I swear I'm going to show you something here in a minute. How's that? Good enough. Good enough. Okay. Here's an example set of Monopoly properties. They're actually deeds. They're called them title deeds, but we'll just call them properties for now. Mediterranean Ave. What do we need to know? It's got a name. It's got a color. That might be important because the color is a set, right? So somehow we need to indicate that these things are a set together because there's like bonuses and stuff. I think when you have, you can only, I think the rules are you can only put properties on places that you have all the colors of the set. So we have to figure out how to define a set somehow. We need to know the rent, probably. We probably need to know the rent with these 1, 2, 3, and 4 houses and a hotel, mortgage value, the house cost, and the hotel cost. I think the hotel cost is always something plus 4 houses. So I don't think we have to know that it's a certain number of houses in order to buy. All right, so that pattern holds up for all of our properties. Now, utilities and railroads are a little different. The calculation is different for their rent. But there's a base rent. Well, there's a base rent for every card. The base rent for a railroad is $25. The base rent for the electric company is 4 times the amount on the dice. That's a little more dynamic. The rent on utilities is 10 times the amount on the dice. That's also dynamic. I'm trying to think if that comes up anywhere else. It'll come up for the waterworks. I think that one has the same rules. So we have some types, maybe? Some record types? Let's do record types. Let's do record types on properties. We'll call this, we'll still call the object a property. We'll call these title deeds, I guess. We'll call these railroads. We'll call these utilities. And maybe that'll help because then we can use record type as a way to determine how to do the calculation of the rent. I think so. But let's do some easy stuff first. All right, I'm going to leave this tab open because I'm going to keep coming back to it to update my permission set. But I'm going to open up my property here. No, I'm not. I wish Salesforce would fix that thing, man. All right, we'll open a new tab. I'll duplicate this tab, actually. Let's go back to our object. All right, our property. We already have a name field, so that'll be Mediterranean Avenue, for example. All right, we need a rent field. I think, can we get away with a rent field? Yes. Pretty much everything has a rent value. We might have different rules for the electric company, but let's go with the majority rule. Rent. Pretty sure these are all whole numbers. We don't have any fractions. I don't think there's anything over 4 digits. There's some $1,000, $2,000 stuff out there. You don't want to land on Boardwalk with hotels. All right, so we'll make our rent 4 digits. Again, I'm going to uncheck all. Put on the layout. Come back here. Enable my rent. Oh, I'm going to grant this permission set to myself before I completely forget to do that. And then wonder why I can't access the app. Just for grins, let's duplicate this tab one more time so I can look at this as an end user. Should have Monopoly in here. Cool. Should have a tab. And we do. And we have no properties, which is expected. Let's add one. Not much here. We'll keep coming back to it. Let's use Mediterranean. If I can spell it. Mediterranean Avenue. Okay. Rent's $2. There we go. Okay. What else do we need to know about this property? Color? Yeah. Call it set color. Let's call it set color. I like that. Let's call it color. Because the color denotes the set. Maybe we can just store like a hexadecimal value for that. Hexes are they 8 plus? I'll just say 10. I don't think they're more than 10. Pick nothing. Layout. Permission set. Oh, yep, we did that. Granted. Now let's go back, find our property. And just a quick update on the stream here. There. I just categorized the stream. See what I mean? I don't know what the heck I'm doing with Twitch yet, but we're going to figure it out. All right. Monopoly. We added the rent. So now I should be able to go back. Oh, wait. I already did that. Color. That's what we were doing. Permission set. Edit. Color. Doop. Refresh. And color. Okay. Can we figure out these colors? I think I got a color picker here. I bet you there's a website that knows these. Let's see. Monopoly property. Oops. Property colors RGB. That's not it. Board detail. Standard Monopoly colors. I have not found them yet. Color set. Oops. Oh, found the Monopoly wiki. This is probably going to be useful. All 8 color sets existing in Monopoly. All right. I'm going to show you guys something as soon as there's something useful to show, but so far this is... not super helpful. So this is interesting. Mediterranean, the picture I have, Mediterranean Ave is purple, but I'm pretty sure it's actually brown. Yep. At least that's what this is telling me. Where is your color? Here's what I'm looking at, folks. I don't see the color on here. Is that the color? What if we pick this? What's this look like? Inspect. Where are we inspecting? Oh, here it comes. Oh boy. That's better. Oh, that's not better. Broke the internet. I have no idea what I did there. Okay, there it goes. Stop. All right, well, let's color pick this. I'm going to go with it. Copied to clipboard. Let's go over here and drop it in. There's our color. Mediterranean Ave. Boom. All right. Easy enough. Now, we got color, we got rent. What else do we need? I think our colors can double as our groups or our sets just by number. Maybe that's easy enough. We'll see how the logic plays out when we get to that point. But we got to color everything except railroads and utilities have 1, 2, 3, 4, and hotel rents. So maybe I think I'm just going to blam those in as fields of their own. Let's do that. So they're all currencies. Now, if I do that, somehow we have to reference these in an intelligent way. um, let's use the API name. We'll kind of enumerate in the API name. Let's say rent one house. I think I did 4 digits on all these. I'm going to call this, I'm going to do the API name as rent house 1, though, because I think it's going to be useful for me to pluck this off of the end of here at some point when we have to decide how many houses are on a property. So, yeah, we'll do that. Oops. I got this weird window manager thing. I don't know if you guys can see it up there. That I like, but sometimes gets in the way. I think it's a Dell thing. All right, rent. So rent one house. The API name will actually do rent house 1. And again, not going to share that with anyone. Oops, lost my screen. There we go. Not going to do that. We'll do that on permission sets. Property. Good. Now, I wonder if I can get cute here. Can I... Let's pull this down. I'm going to pull everything that I've done so far, which is not much, into my DX instance. There we go. I think I can get cute here. Oops. Let's find my object. I think let's do this. Let's open... Let's find this in Finder. Bring this down here. Call this house 2. Check out the meta. Three. Check out the meta. 4. Take out the meta. So I'm just gonna, since these fields are basically all the same, I'm just gonna make them locally. And yeah, they're updating in here, and then I'll come into each of these. I have to change the full name to house says to be proper English. House 3, 3 house says. House 4, 4 house says. And let's make one more. Let's make a hotel. Rename here. I only learned recently that you can only have one hotel on a property in Monopoly. When I was a kid, we used to play, you have as many as you want, or at least 2, because I think 2 would fit on there. So we just assumed that, well, you could go buy a hotel, or build 4 houses, buy a hotel, build 4 more houses, get another hotel. But I guess you can't do that. And that's okay, because I don't see how you would possibly make any... There was never a... I think we just doubled the price of things. There, okay. So a little shorthand creation of the fields, and then I should be able to push all this back up. Drum roll. Heyo, there we go. We're doing my fields. Alright, I like doing that once in a while. It saves me a little bit of time when we're making copy pasta fields like that. Which, to be fair, is probably not necessarily best practice data model wise, if you find yourself doing that, you might be modeling data in a way that shouldn't be. But I think we're safe here for our purposes. I'm not going to create a, not ready to create a whole data model around rent structure yet. But it might come back. We'll see. All right, property, Mediterranean Ave. Should be able to edit this now. Oh, nope, no I can't. You know why? Because when I did what I just did, made the fields faster, but now I got to go add them to the page layout. So let's do that. There they are. Rent, 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 rent. Let's make this look a little nicer. Let's add a section in here called rent. 2 columns, sure. Put the rent. 1 house. You know, I have a feeling I'm going to have to come back and do something like rent 0 houses. Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. Rent 4 houses. Make this look nice. Where's a hotel? Here. Yeah. Or, now I'm getting picky. Rent 1, 2, 3. Flip these. Rent 1, 2, 3, 4. Hotel. Cool. Great. There's our property. Layout updated, I think. Back over here. Cool. Rent section. All right. What is our rent? Rent's double when you have both properties. I forgot about that. I was like, what? Monopoly rent. What is monopoly rent? Oh, it's because you have a monopoly on the... Okay. I don't think we need to indicate that. I think the rule is it's just double. Worst case, we make a formula, and we'll just do that. But let's get these in. So the rent on Mediterranean... Am I on Mediterranean? Yep. The rent on Mediterranean Avenue with 1 house is $10. 10, I think it was 30. Slide this over. 10, 30, 90, 160. And with a hotel, 250. Is that right? Yep. I have no idea what a skyscraper is. I don't think we're playing. I don't think we're playing that version. I've never played that version before, so this wiki must have some extra sauce in it. All right, cool. There we go. So we got our rent taken care of. What else do we need to know? Mortgage value. House cost, hotel cost, I think. Are the house cost and hotel cost always the same? Because I can just call it building cost. I gotta look at some other cards here. Let's see. No, wait. Houses, hotels, house, hotel, house, hotel, house, hotel. I think they're the same. Just that you have to trade in your houses. So I think I'm just going to say building cost. Let's try it. Where's my object? Here we go. I'm not going to get into whatchamacallit. I'm not gonna build that in VS. I'm not gonna build that field in VS Code. We'll just do it here. All right, another currency field. They're all whole numbers. I think they're all 3 digits. I don't think there's anything that is more expensive than that. Let's double check. What is this? Printable Monopoly card. Okay. Why is everything on Pinterest? Like, I can't get to any... You cannot download a picture anymore on the internet because it's already been, well, monopolized by Pinterest. It's weird. I don't like it. Just looking for some data. That's the same side we were just on. Okay. I think we're good here. I think that's the way it works. Yeah, they just call it building cost. So... Oh, you know, it probably would help for us to have the price of the property, right? Do we have that yet? I don't think we do. I have the rent, but I don't have the property cost. So we'll start there. We'll call this property cost. And those are always 3 digits. We'll set up the permissions later. And we'll make another one for building cost. Three digits max. Highest is 200, I think. And let's make one more. Mortgage value. Hang on a second. Guess Twitch thought I had this set up as a rerun, which is not. We are here live. Building Monopoly on Salesforce. Make sure that's correct. Yeah. We are live. There we go. Mortgage value. Three, I think. See what I did there? Took a little boop, a little underscore out of the field. Okay. Anything else we need to know about a property? We don't do skyscrapers. I think we got it all. I think that's everything we need to know about a property in Monopoly. Okay. There we go. Let's go back to our list. I think I have that over here in VS Code. I'm going to close these fields out. We don't really need them. Oh, now did I update my permission set? Let's edit that again. We did not. All right, let's get these going there. Cool. Got them. All right, let's go back to Visual VS Code. Let's do a poll on the work we've done so far. Very important. Don't forget. What do I do? A push? Let's do a pull. Feels like this isn't working. What do you think, guys? Oh boy. We did a lot of them. Okay. Something got excited there. Well, let's see what happens when you do 3 polls all at the same time. My hope is nothing. Well, or that the first one wins. There it goes. Okay. I don't know what got... Oh, I guess it didn't like the last one. Alright. I think we're good. Let's see. Alright, we built our property object. Check. Now, property is just a property, right? It doesn't, until I play a, let's talk this through. I have to play a game in order to earn a property. Oh, you know what might be useful? Would it be useful if properties knew about what properties are before and after them? Because then that kind of defines the board for us. That might be useful. Now that raises another question. There are some slots on the board that aren't properties. Go, jail, community chest, chance, free parking, go to jail. I think that luxury tax, income tax. We have to account for those too. They're a different kind of property. I feel like record types are going to be in our future. So maybe, let's see. What do those do? Go is, well, you get $200. So you get money. Community chest, you pull a card. Chance, you pull a card. So you take an action. I guess go is taking an action, right? So they're kind of like action properties, maybe. So we have properties, railroad properties, which have a different set of rules for rent, utility properties, which have a different set of rules for rent, and I'll call them action properties, which do a thing. Usually they do a thing to your money, right? You know, well, directly, Go does a thing to your money. Luxury tax does a thing to your money. Income tax does a thing to your money. Chance and community chest, they do something a little different. But ultimately, it's usually to your money, or you move on the board. Okay. So we need to account for those properties. But if we do account for those properties, and each property knows what its next property is that useful? Because I could start rolling. I roll a dice. Pretend I'm playing a game. Roll the dice, and I'm on Mediterranean Avenue. I roll a 7. How am I gonna know what is 7 spots out? Maybe it's not as helpful to know what your next and previous. It's helpful to know the position, right? Yeah. We need to know the position of each property. It's an array. I mean, it's a circle or a square that you go around, but you start at Go. So the address or position of that property is 0, and then they go up from there. So if I know my current, if I'm playing a game, and I know we got a bunch of other stuff to figure out for that, but if I know my property's position that I'm on, and I roll, assuming I don't go past the last property, which is Boardwalk, I just have to add that number, and boom, I'm at the next spot. So I think we need a position field on the properties, like an address, basically. So let's do that. And that should be a number because we want to sort by that. I don't remember exactly how many there are. I think there's 48? 40? It's 2 digits, not 100. We'll start there. Unless we make our own custom Monopoly game, and then we can go crazy. But for now, we'll go by the book. Oop, put that on layout. Update our permission set. And okay. Now Mediterranean, I gotta look at I need a board. Oh, hello, giant macaroni ad from Wegmans. Thank you. All right, so stamp before. Oh, look at that. Okay, today I learned that the purple Mediterranean Avenue turned into the brown Mediterranean Avenue. Some other things changed too. Luxury tax went up 10% or 200 for income tax. I like that. I remember 10% or 200 when I was a kid for luxury or income tax was like basically if we landed on that, you just quit because I was 6. I didn't know how to do math like that, and it was really a pain. So I'm glad that's gone. But it's brown. Okay, here's our brown. This must be these have got to be the legit colors. I'm just gonna grab this one more time. I'm very picky about the colors, if you can tell. Nope, I did that wrong. Pick a color. Stop. Why is the page moving? How are you doing that, page? Come on. There we are. Okay. Let's go back over to Mediterranean and change the color there. One more time. I don't know what I picked there. That doesn't look right either. That doesn't look like brown. That looks better. Okay. We should make a color picker component. How can that not exist? I'm writing that down. Future stuff. Color picker component? I gotta do some research on that. It seems crazy that we don't have that. And it wouldn't be like a picker or an enterer, and then you can do what you want to do. All right, y'all. First break. Take a break on the stream here. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Make a little note if anybody joins. Back in, say, back at 4 p.m. Yo. have drinks, which is going to make me way less hotter in this kind of hot room on this kind of hot day that needs air conditioning. All right, back at 4 p.m., yo. Here we are. Where were we? Building Monopoly on Salesforce. And checking my phone. That happens once in a while. All right. Let's see. We were talking about property positions. We need to know where what is on the board. Reasonable. Right? Reasonable request. I'm gonna tell a few people that that we're on right now. See if anybody shows up. Text, phone. All right. Position. So, looking at a board. I think Go is position 0. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So 0 numbers. Mediterranean is 1, then, right? Mediterranean is position number 1. Let's refresh our Mediterranean Nav page. I think what I'm going to do before the next episode is get all the data in for this stuff, because I don't think y'all want to watch me pump in data about monopoly properties. All right, cool. We got some new fields here. Position is 1. Let's go back here. Property cost is 60. Building cost is 50. Mortgage value is 30. So I guess that's a good question. Is the mortgage value always half of the property cost? That's a good question. Is the mortgage value always half of the property cost? Well, let's look around. Marvin Gardens. Price is $280, the mortgage is $140. Let's look around for some others. I'm just spot checking. Let's check a railroad. What's the mortgage on a railroad? Oh, you Wegmans, and you're wanting me to eat macaroni. Stop it. They got some ads on this site. 201. See, I think that untested theory, the mortgage value of any monopoly property is half of its cost. True or false? I'm going to say true, because if that's true, I don't think we need to track the mortgage value. It's just a formula. No, we'll come back to that. All right. So we got properties, we got positions now that we were... And we need different types. We need different types of properties. Because if I'm going to treat every... I'm going to use properties to represent everything on the board. Wegmans, I don't want your macaroni. All right. This is 0. This is position 0. Let's go. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Numbers. Okay. So let's make another property. No, let's make record types. We're going to make some record types. Let's see. Maybe. What do we got? We got... I'm gonna make record types because the different properties behave differently. The property properties are like Mediterranean Ave. You pay rent with houses, you pay rent with hotel, and that's it. The railroad, you pay rent, and then you pay rent based on the number of other railroads that are in possession by the same player. I'm going to make... Alright, this is super stupid, but we're going to make a record type called property on the property. I'm going to get dinged for that for sure. I can't remember if... Can we manage record types on permission sets? Let's pretend we can't for right now. I don't remember. Let's make one and then we'll go check. Trying to keep everything on the permission set for this. All right. Let's make another one. I think we need a railroad record type because the rent structure is different. Railroad. I don't know, did I check active on the last one? I should probably check that. I think we need a... Come on. Oh, yep. Okay. Sure. Do that. We're going to have to fix some layouts here in a little bit. Railroad. Utility. We need a utility type. This is slow. Utility. What else? I guess it depends how specific we should get with things like Go, Community Chest, Chance. I guess we could be really specific with those, right? Like, just say... Yeah. Free parking. Oh, we could call it maybe something more generic. Well, when I hit Go, I get money. Or I go past Go, I get money. When I hit Community Chest and Chance, I pull cards. That's a whole other thing we got to get into later. If I land on jail, I'm just visiting. If I get put in jail, I'm in jail. That's a different action. If I land on free parking, depending on whose house you're playing at, you get nothing or a ton of money. I like the ton of money rules myself. And if I land on go to jail, I go to jail. If I land on a tax, I pay tax. I think I'm gonna be really specific. Worst case, we take away some of these we take away some of these record types, but let's start super specific. Because I'll use the record types as the action that should be performed and the fields that should be collected, and the calculations that should be performed on rent. So I feel like that's like enough diversity to warrant using record types. Now that said, some of these are going to just be like single use record types, but let's see how this plays. Before I slap all these on the permission set, let's go over here, refresh this permission set. All right, let's do this. I don't have to keep putting all those on the sysadmin. I want to try to manage everything I can in this Monopoly admin permission set. So we'll just keep adding them there, or setting them there. Okay, where was I? I'm making a Go permission set that's literally used for one field. Sure. I might regret this. I'm going to, let's see. Let's make a community chest type. Because even though community chest and chance do the same thing, they come from different sets of cards. So I'm going to separate those two. And again, let the record type tell me what it should be. Or how it should calculate or whatever. Okay. Loading. Salesforce is kind of slow today. I'll make a chance type. What else have we got? Tax. I can use tax for income tax and luxury tax because it just means pay money. So we'll do that. Make that a little bit generic. Tax. What have we got left? Free parking. That's a single serve. Free parking is going to be interesting. We have to like make a bank when you're playing a game to store all that stuff and decide which things go in it. That'll be fun. Free parking, go to jail and in jail, just visiting, right? So go to jail. This is not the funnest part of all of this, but we're almost done with our record types, and then we'll get on to something more interesting. So in jail, just visiting. Okay, last one, all done. Almost done. Now actually done. Edit this. Made a lot of them. Okay. We got chance card, community chest, free parking, go to jail, in jail, property, everything else. Railroad, tax. Cool. All right, we got. All right, let's go back to our properties. All one of them. There's Mediterranean Ave. We need to update the page layout, probably, to include the record type. Yep. Maybe we can clean this up a little bit, too. Color, cost, position. I still think mortgage value just needs to be a formula. Okay. Back out here. Okay, record type of Mediterranean Ave is just property. Yep. All right, new property. Let's add go. That is go. Go is go. Screaming cat. What color is go? Does it have a color? No. It has a picture on it. Oh, we can get fancy with that. We can put goofy pictures on these. That'll be super helpful. All right, we haven't done anything with the record type layout, so there's dumb fields on here, but it has no color, no property cost. We need a way to tell a property what action to take. I wonder if there's like a clever flow situation for that when we actually get to the games. Like you land on a field, it could dynamically say like this is perform this action, or maybe we can tell it somehow what action to perform on the card. These properties are like definitions, right? So when we get to a game, I think we're going to need another object like a game property, so that we can actually like have instances of these for each game that's being played, and then those instances can have ownership, right? Somebody's got to own a card, and then we can have transactions between them and stuff like that. But I'm getting way ahead of this. So we will fix these things. But for now, we have go. Oh, wait, position is important. Position, I'm going to call go position 0, where everything starts. Let's go back to Mediterranean Ave. What's the other? I'm going to clone this. We'll make another Baltic Avenue, right? The price is different on Baltic. Color's the same. Let's check the property cost. 60 still. Jabber wants me to buy headphones. Property cost 60. Where did you go? Buildings are the same. Rent's different, I think. Yeah. Rent with 2. Man, that's steep. It's double. Okay. 3. Is that right? I don't know if this is right. I mean, it's a wiki and all. It must be somebody's reviewing this to make sure it's right, but that's a huge jump, man. Baltic Ave. Sleeper. That is the sleeper property. You want to win, get Baltic Avenue. Put a hotel on it. Boom, you win. Okay. Position 2. Ta-da. What's after Baltic? Back to the board. Oh, wait, no, I'm wrong. There's a community chest in between there. Okay. Again with the macaroni. All right, we got to fix this. Because Baltic is position 3. we need a new property at position 2, which is a community chest. I guess I'm going to be really clever with these names. Community chest. Color, no color. Again, these fields are all wrong. We'll fix that eventually. Ta-da! Okay. Let's look at our world's smallest Monopoly board of 4 positions, 4 properties. Got a few fields out here. There. Go, Mediterranean, community chest, Baltic. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. All right, so we got, let's think. Let's look at the board. We have a way to define a property. We have a way to define the position of each property on the board. We have a way to describe what type of property it is, which will give us a way to describe what kind of action can be taken when you're on that property. If I go back to my list of, I'm going to do a poll here a second so we don't lose everything that we've done. Well, that's cooking. I don't think we need a board. I'm trying to think. The only thing the board tells us is the position of the properties. And if we already know that from our properties, then we probably don't need a board object. So I'm going to nope. I'm going to nope out the board object. In fact, let's just get rid of it off of our list. Property I said was done. I don't know if we're quite done. We have more work to do, but the definition is there. Now, what else do we need? We need community. We need cards. Community chest and chance. Those perform actions. We need some way to describe that. Let's see, can we find a list of community chest cards? It's on another site called Monopoly Land. Where are you? Okay, here's a little. Why are there 2 lists? Oh, US. There's not that many, are there? All right. How do these work? Well, these are these are the chance cards, and these are the community chest cards. Okay. How do they work? What kind of things do they do? Advance to Boardwalk, advance to Go, advance to Illinois, advance. Chance cards move pieces. Move players. Let's write that down. Advance to property. Maybe there's a relationship here that we can create. Advantage. I don't know what advantage means. Advance means something though. Advance to nearest. And then there's a I mean, this doesn't feel like a rule to me. Like, I think the game rules are going to kick in and say, like, hey, it's not bought, you can buy it. This is a rule, though. It doubles the rent if you if that happens. These two are this. Oh, there must be two of these in the deck, I guess. Okay. Those are the same otherwise. Advance to nearest utility, same idea. Same idea as the railroad. We can't say specifically where to go to, but we have to look relative to where the player is. And bank pays you dividend, so get money. Go get out of jail free. It's like a bonus. I don't know what we're going to call that. Go back 3 spaces. Well, that's a movement, right? That's just relative, kind of like these up here. Go to jail, that's a movement. Go directly, do not pass go, do not collect $200. I think that's just a move without... So you can move and get money. Or move and not get money. Cool. Kyle Limber just saved my soul by linking me to a Monopoly data set, which is on my phone, unfortunately. I'm on a different computer right now, so I can't do anything with that, but I will do stuff with that later, Kyle. Thank you. Let's see. All right, go back 3 spaces. That's a move. Go to jail. That's a move. Make general repairs on all your property. All right, that's a pay. Speeding fine, pay. Move to a specific place and collect money. You've been elected chairman of the board. That's a pay. Each player. I think, is that the only one where you pay a player? I think so. All right, so that's a slightly different rule. Building loan matures, you get money. All right, so we have some advance to something, get money. Pay money to bank, right? Bank. Or free parking, right? Some of that stuff. I don't know, when I played, you used to have to shove everything that you paid into free parking except for properties. So maybe we need a checkbox for free parking rules or something. Pay players, right? Pay players. That's another action, roughly. Advance. Let's see if I collected all these. Move. Advance. There's like an advance to specific property, right? And then there's also advance to nearest railroad or utility. Cool. Bank pays you. Okay. Get out of jail. It's probably a specific one. Get out of jail. And are there any other go backs? Which I guess would just be advance in reverse, right? So we probably can just make it like move, you know. Move to nearest / relative, I guess we'd call that. Like this will also handle, you know, back X spaces, maybe. Did I go to jail? I gotta get out of jail. Well, move to jail. I guess that's, well, going to jail is like a magical thing in this game. So, not, and by magical I mean probably terrible. I don't want to go to Monopoly jail. I don't know if any of y'all do. But we'll see if, well, I'm gonna write it down as its own. Go to jail. Sure. Okay. Go to jail. Make repairs, which means pay money. Speeding fine, pay money. I got that right. Pay money. Yep. Take a trip. Go to a specific place. Elected chairman, pay money to players. Billing loan matures, get money. Okay. That's community chest. Now, do those rules hold up on do those rules hold up on those are chance. Do those rules hold up on community chest? Let's see. Advance to go. Yep. Bank error, get paid. Doctor's fee, pay. Sale from stock, get paid. Get out of jail, Go to jail. Holiday fund matures, get paid. Income tax refund, get paid. Get your birthday. So get paid. So, get money. This is like get money from bank, right? And then we also have get money from players. Uh-oh. Lawnmower, guys. Okay. Get money from players. Let's see. Where were we? It's your birthday. Collect $10 from your player. Life insurance matures. Get paid. Pay hospital fees. Pay school fees. Pay. 25 sorry, get paid. Arrested for street repair. Oh, assessed. Not arrested. Assessed for street repair. The multiple house thing. Yeah, we have another one of those. It's different counts though. 25 and 40. All right. Well, that's good when they're different. Second prize beauty contest. Get paid. Inherit. Get paid. A lot of get paids in chance. I'm opening a drink. Pop. In fact, it's puppy. Not sponsored. It's good. I like this stuff. Okay, so we have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different kinds of actions that could happen. Thank you, Audric, for... I think I know who that guy is. Probably the same guy that was on my phone telling me about the Monopoly stuff. Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to follow you back. Thanks, man. I won't drive everybody insane by doing data management. I'll save that for off camera. Also, I'm super tempted to go look at this Monopoly CLI, but I'm having fun making up my own rules here. So I'm gonna look at it for the data, but I'm gonna resist for any of the logic that's in there, just so we can keep farting around here in Salesforce. Hey, JVW42. Thanks for coming. I don't know what to do with all this yet. I feel like, well, let's back up. We need a card, right? So we need a card object to do something with. So we'll start there. I still have this thought about, like, can we sort of like pass off the actions dynamically to like flows or something? Also, like, I'm gonna try to do as much flow mojo as I can with this. See if we can get by without writing a single line of code. But We shall see. Anyway, we need a card. We need a card object, I think. That'll do our community chest and whatchamacallit? Chance. Back to the object manager. Card. Pour his cards. I'm tempted to make these auto number because I don't think these names are gonna fit. Also, they're kind of weird, right? But will that be a pain to look at in other ways? I mean, if we just make a short description field, I think that'll be okay. We'll go with it. We'll change it later if we need to. The beauty of the platform. If you don't like it, just change it eventually. Alright, a card. 4 digits is probably enough, right? Probably only need like 2. Sure. Starting from, yeah. We need a tab. And go. What's a good, maybe like a square? Square, no rectangle, square. We'll use square for card. And do our little tab hidden situation because we'll manage everything. Oh, sorry about the mowers. All right, now that I got an app out here, though, I am going to add this here. I still have to do some permission set mojo, but we'll get it out there in a second. Card. Back to our permission set. Did I add any more fields to the property? Nope. Do. Come on, permission set. Permit me to configure you. All right. Need tab. Our admin can do everything. And let's just make sure our app is happy seeing that. And good, we got cards. All right, now we need some fields on cards. Record type. 2 record types, right? We got chance cards and community chest cards. Let's make 2 record types. Probably not as useful here, because all it really is like, they're all the same thing, but, you know, we'll try to keep it legit to the game. Let's see, be right. You could have actions be flows specified on cards / properties that take in the entire game state and mutate it. Pay bank money, subtract it. Ooh. That's smart. I'm going to copy that. I like that line of thinking. Most of it's smarter than what I came up with, but yes, what he said. Save that for next episode. And meanwhile, I figure out how to word wrap. Hey, word wrap. Thanks, man. Good call. Let's see. on to other boring things. Let's chance, record type, save that. I'm gonna follow this smart guy. Oop, almost done. There we go. All right. For now, I feel like there's going to be more instruction on these card objects. I think for now I'm just going to get the description in there. See how everything kind of comes together. So let's add a description field. Short text. 255. Can't spell. And let's just update our permission set and make sure we have access to those record types and that description field, and we'll pop in a couple of each so we have enough data to make something look like something here. So again, this card object is just going to be like a dictionary of cards that have the definitions, and I would see when we create a game, we're going to make a copy of all of the maybe make a copy of the cards. We'll see. Maybe feel like we need to make copies of the properties. We need like a game property object when we play a game, because we could have many games going on at once, because it's going to be super popular. Everybody's going to download Monopoly and put it into Salesforce. That's why it's called You Can't Do That on Salesforce. It probably should be You Can Do This on Salesforce. We're clearly doing it. Should you? I don't know. But it's fun. It's a good excuse to hang out and muck around with the platform. So why not? We move on. All right, let's create some. I'm gonna create a muffler for that lawnmower outside. Sheesh. All right. Let's make some cards. We'll make a couple of each here. Make a couple chance cards. Where's my list? The question off to the side is asking if you can build Salesforce inside of Salesforce. And I think that is a very great topic for a future episode, where we will somehow figure out how to create Salesforceception by building Salesforce inside of Salesforce. Yes. That's a wonderful suggestion. Sounds pretty simple, too, to me. I'm sure we can figure that out in a couple of hours. All right, chance card, advance to boardwalk. Cool. All right. I'm going to fix these publisher actions here in a second, because they always seem to creep up at the scratch org. Come on. I'm clicking your button. You can do it. Do it. Come on, browser. Wow. We killed it. Let's refresh it. Just wanted to clone, man. It's probably this wiki site that's like got 10 million ads running in the corners here. All right, advance to go, collect $200. Another chance card. go. All right, there is 2 chance cards. Let's make 2 community chest cards. Chest. And go. Go to go. And we'll make a copy of that. Make 1 more. Bank error in your favor. Okay. Got some cards. Got more to do with cards. We got to tell these cards what actions to take and obviously build those actions. But I'm gonna give it an X because I feel like we're making some progress on there. I think piece is really player. You got to pick your piece though, right? I mean, let's make a player. We're kind of getting to like the game side of the of this whole thing. So let's make a game. Let's make a game object. Let's pull our stuff before my my scratch org dies midstream and we have nothing to show for what we've been working on here. That would be sad. Okay, here we go. Let's make a game object. So the game object will be like the umbrella for the whole thing. Game auto number, probably. Again, there's going to be so many games that people are going to be playing simultaneously. Like hundreds of thousands, I'm sure. Let's make a tab for that. What do we got? What perfect icon exists for a game? Probably should have used the square for the game. Oh well. Treasure chest? Treasure chest. Yeah. Treasure chest. Turn all those off because we'll manage by permission set. I'm going to leave this on the Monopoly game. Okay. I don't know how much. So I could see the game object being a place where we could like toggle house rules or free parking, enable free parking or not. Maybe like I'm trying to think of other things that you could configure. But really, it's just going to be there to like be a umbrella for players. I think we should make a player object next, and then instances of our stuff. So we need instances of properties so that we can build a board, so that players can own property as part of the game. I think player is probably where bank money lives. Well, a game could hold free parking, right? It could hold the bank, essentially. Well, not the bank, but I could have the bank too, because there's a finite amount of money. Even though I've never run out of money in a Monopoly game without cheating severely. But yeah, it could hold the free parking. I'm sure there's some other stuff, but anyway, we got a game object, and for right now, it's just gonna be an object, not much else there. And we need to update our permission set to recognize that. Still got some folks that are serious about this Salesforce and Salesforce thing. It's going to be called Meta Salesforce. All right. It's great. It's a great idea. Come on. I checked the box. There we go. Okay, so we'll come back to game as we need more fields. But I'm going to create a player object. Compact layout could be the scoreboard / standings. Users can peek on other people's games and see who is winning. BRI64, you are a genius. I'm stealing every one of your ideas, and I'm not feeling bad about it. It's going on the list. And I will credit you. You know, when this becomes a $1 billion unicorn app exchange app, got to remember who got you there. Player. Plural of player. Player. I guess we'll auto number this. Player. That's not how you do that. That's how you do that. Okay, I don't think it needs a tab because it's going to be related to a game. All right. Should players be related to users? I feel like the answer is yes. Or we just use the owner field on the player. I always feel like if I use the owner field, I regret it later because, you know, some process needs to create the field and actually own it to have some visibility, and then I have a different user field to do stuff. Anyway, this thing needs to relate to a game. In fact, it's probably, should this be a master detail? Is there any reason, all right, security question. Is there any reason if I was playing a game, a Monopoly game, that I would not need to know about the other players in the game? I think the answer is no. I need to know the other players. So this can be a master detail, because if I know about the game, I know about the other players. Okay, cool. So we're going to relate players to a game. Game players. Yeah, let's do read only. Hey, click the box. There we go. Okay. Next. We'll put the players on the game layout. That seems like a smart thing to do. As long as you can't edit other players. That's fair. That could be a cheat mode. That's what me and my friends used to just steal from each other. That was like, you know, tuck the money under the board, right? Like when people weren't looking, you grab a 500 out of the bank. You know, you steal that, right? Yeah. Or just be the banker. That was the best. That was the best move. All right, players in a game are gonna have money. I guess we probably should have a way to track that. Let's track that on the player. What do we call that? Money? I guess we'll call it money. Money. We'll go 5. $10,000. Have we ever had $10,000 in a Monopoly game? I don't think. That's got to be a big game. But maybe. Maybe it's possible. We could track. Think about how to track get out of jail free cards. Because I think you can have multiple of them in a game. So we could track it just as a field on the player that is get out of jail free cards and use it as a counter. That's probably the easiest way. I was also thinking, well, we could get really cute and, have some kind of relationship between the player and the card. Oh, maybe that, Because in the real game, you hold the get out of jail free card, which means it's not shuffled back in if you get to the bottom of the Chance of the Community chess decks. That could be. I gotta think about that. I wasn't sure if we needed instances of cards. We need instances of properties for the game. We do need instances of cards. We do need instances of cards because we have to shuffle them for the game. So, yeah. Okay. We're going to make a relationship. But we could have more than... No. We can just have put the relationship on the... I haven't even made the card instance object yet. So I'll come back to this. Let's not do that yet. Did we make the money? Did I make the money field? I got so lost in my train of thought here. We got the money field. We got the game field. Piece. Right? Got to pick your piece. What are the pieces? What are the pieces in the Monopoly board? I'm going to leave that one up because that was kind of useful. How did people survive without the internet before? It's beyond me. There's no way you could ever... there's lots of pieces. These are there's old ones and new ones. Okay. Oh, we're back to Monopoly Land. Oh, they're coming this year. Ooh, very exciting. Coming in the fall. The 6 original Monopoly pieces were the battleship, boot, cannon, thimble, top hat, and iron. Later in 1935, the race car was added. And then the purse. And then the lantern and the rocking horse. Lantern? I didn't know there was a lantern. Okay. Made from a zinc alloy. Glad they're not lead. We're learning a lot here, folks. I didn't know, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised that the pieces were wooden during the Second World War. Post-war Monopoly tokens. The Scotty and the wheelbarrow. Car gained a driver. The lantern, the rocking horse, and the purse were retired. I kind of want to put all of them in here. I mean, it's just going to be a pick list, I think, right? I don't think we have to get crazy with the with any kind of data model around this. What I need, though, is a list. Maybe it doesn't matter too much, but we'll get the original, the OG6 in there. Where are they? Here in this red box. Boop. Player. New field. Probably going to need some logic to make sure that people aren't using the same piece, right? I mean, that would be pretty serious. That's a major offense on a Monopoly board. All right, let's make a pick list. Piece. Battleship, boot, cannon, thimble, top hat, iron. Let's go with it. We can always add more. Yep, we put that on the player layout. All right, so we got a game. We got to make a. I'm going to make a game property object, which will be a junction between the property and the game, so that we can use them in game. And so if we have that, we know the board. Players need to roll. Players need to. Oh, you could use the user's picture as their piece in some way. Hell yeah, yeah. I like that. I would like it to be weird though, because like it should just be like the face on the like their face has to be in the cannon, right? Or their face has to wear a top hat, just, stuff like that. But there again, the possibilities are endless. We can do that. Okay. So I'm on the board. I got to roll. Right? Players got to be able to roll. And then move somewhere. Move to the next spot. I think our game properties could indicate, so we need, you can own a property and you can occupy a property. So I think multiple players can occupy the same property. So maybe we don't need to track, maybe it makes sense to track the current property, the position. We can track the position of the player. We'll track the position of the player on the player. Yeah. So then we don't have to do something else that's weird. We got to make this other object. I got to make this game property object so we have somewhere else to store this stuff. Let's call these GP. Okay. but I think that's okay. Dude. Okay, so game property junction between game and property, so we should create those. Game property probably shouldn't exist if a game doesn't exist. Minimum level of access on the master record. Sure. Put that on the layout. I feel like I have a whole lot of updates to do to the permission set when I'm done here. We also, there's no point in having a game property if the property doesn't exist. Probably need to scale back that security now that I'm thinking about it. Ah, infinite loop. Okay, so now we've got a game property, game property in the middle, and then a player can own a game property if they buy it. So we need a relationship to support that. So we'll create a lookup to a player called owner. Let's see, there's player, and then the player's going to have game properties. If free parking is a game property, maybe that stores the bank money and empties it on landing. Yeah, potentially. I don't think we need to track like the money, like the all the money. We could, it's a game, so we can kind of assume that we have infinite dollars to give to people. We don't have to worry about running out of dollar bills unless we really want to get carried away with all of this. But yeah, I think like, the free parking, we got some free parking bank field on the game object, and you land on it. Some action gets called that gives you that money and zeroes it out. That would probably work. All right, let me finish making this field here. Okay, so now the game property, it knows about its game that it's a part of. It knows about the property that it represents. It knows about... Did I just call that player? That was dumb. That's not player, that's owner. Player doesn't tell us anything about that. Let's edit that. Proper names make proper sense. Owner. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that there's no other. If you mortgage something, you still own it. If you don't, if nobody owns it, then that field is blank. I don't think there's any other field relationships that we, or player relationships, I should say, that we need on the game property object. We would need to know if it is mortgaged, right? So if I own Baltic Avenue and then I need to mortgage it, I probably want to be able to know that. If I do mortgage it, I get money, so I can perform an action because of that. Mortgaged, unchecked. I always like to do this on my Boolean fields. A little easier to understand. So we need that. B-Rai says, how many houses are hotels? Yep, I think that. Let's see, we can have up to 4 houses, right? So we'll do that as a. I feel like we should be very literate and have like a, houses, number of houses field, and that's 0 to 4, and then a number of hotels, which is 0 to 1. I guess you could use a checkbox for the hotels, but maybe we just keep everything numeric because we're going to be. Let's see, number. Just say houses. Can have up to 4. That defaults to 0. I can see some validation rule fun coming together for that. If I got 1 hotel, you can't have any more houses, and then we have to put some boundaries on the number of houses. All right, we'll make one more. Oh, that's a really good point. Yeah, B-Rai's right. There's a finite number of houses and hotels that are available in inventory for a game, and we would definitely need to know that and keep track of that for because you're right. That's my 8-year-old discovered this strategy before I did, because we were playing one day and we haven't played a lot. We've only been playing for like 6 months, but every time I play my younger son in Monopoly, he whoops me. At least on the board game, the app game's a little different. But he told me what B-Rai just pointed out. That's like, Dad, if I get all the hotels, you can't build any more hotels. And I was like, dang kid, you're right. I never thought about that. So, spot on. That is we gotta think about that. So that probably up on the game object. Some field to track the number of hotels and houses that are available in the game, and we could decrement those as the game goes on. What was I doing? I'm making the hotel field right now. God, I feel like this should be a checkbox because you can only have 1 hotel. Can't call it hotels. That would be weird. But if I call it hotel and it's either a 0, whatever. We'll keep it a number for now. It's either 0 or 1. Can always change it. All right. Now, the game property. Okay. The game property is a child of the game. So we could roll up the number of houses so that we can do math on the game object to say, you know, house inventory minus house built. I don't know what that word is. House something could do that math for us. So that's probably a good add to here. I'm gonna go back over to the game nope. Go back to the game object. Not the player. Let's see. Game needs let's make a numeric field called total houses. And ask Google how many houses are in a Monopoly set. $32. How many hotels? 12. Okay. So maybe the easiest way is to just make those the default values. I look really shiny. Can you guys tell I'm like sweating in here? My office is kind of small. Not terribly insulated nor air conditioned. So I'm basically standing in the outside. It works okay in the winter because I got heat in here, but it gets a little. I got to get the air conditioner in the window. Okay, total houses. Got that. Let's make total hotels. Da, da, da. Number. So if we have total houses and total hotels, then we can also do some roll-ups on the. I think we can do some roll-ups. I don't know if we're going to get into order of operations trouble here with our calculations, but I think we'll be okay to grab the sum of houses on game property records, and then we can have we'll call that field houses purchased, I think. And then we can, then we don't have to worry about tracking that. We can just, we'll let the math play out. All right, so I got total houses and total hotels. Let's make a roll-up summary for, call this houses purchased. Okay. And that's the sum of game properties. That's the sum of houses. Include all fields. No. Wait, yes. Yes, include all fields. Or include all records. Yeah, there's no, yeah. That should be fine. Okay, houses purchased. And then Let's make another roll up. Hotels purchased. Okay. Oh. Do the same thing. Game properties, sum of hotel. Aha! That is why it was good to leave that as a numeric field. If that was a checkbox, I don't know. Well, I guess if it was a checkbox, we could have probably just done more criteria, but either way, that works. We're happy. Okay. Houses purchased, hotels purchased, and then houses available, hotels available, which I think is just a formula now between the total. I probably should have called this hotels total. I got to change that. Naming conventions, kids. Houses purchased, houses available, houses total. Or hotels purchased, hotels available, hotels total. You gotta do it. Gotta make them the same. Gotta make it clean. Yes, we know that. Okay. Houses total, houses purchased. Oh, hotels total, hotels purchased. Fix this name. Houses total. Oops. Okay. There. Good naming convention. I won't feel twitchy, no pun intended, about that. Purchase total. Purchase total. All right, now 2 more fields. Hotels available and houses available. Should be formulas. They just subtract out those 2 for us. So number. No decimals, please. Thank you. Which one are we making? I've already forgotten which one. Hotels. All right, we'll do the hotels fields. Hotel, hotel, hotel. Game hotels total minus hotels purchased gives us hotels available. Oops. Okay. Tree fields zeros, cool. Alright. And let's make one more for houses available. And now the system will help us out by taking care of that math for us. If I was clever, I would have copied the formula from the last time so I could just use it again, but that's okay. Available, oh wait, total minus purchased. There we go. Cool. I'm going to go do a permission set check because I feel like we've been all over the place here for a minute. So let's make sure our fields are accounted for our game players or admins. Let's see. We made a new game property field or object. Grant access to that. And did we do anything else? Let's do a quick pull back into our DX org, or our VS code. We're in a DX org, scratch org. Ah, right, is mortgaged on the game property. I don't know if I got that. And somehow player has color monopoly. Oh. Yeah, I was thinking, you have to think about how to, probably in the game properties, based on owner. That would make sense, maybe to track that. Have some way to indicate that a player has the monopoly of, 3 colors or 2, whatever the set of colors for a space. Because we got to double the mortgage when that happens, or double the rent when that happens. So, yeah, it's a good catch. Good catch, B-Rye. I'm going to do that on the game properties. I think if that is the case, it'll just check. I would see that as checking all the boxes on across the set. Do a quick evaluation anytime somebody takes ownership of a game property. Roll up on player for each color. If that equals it. Ooh. Maybe? I didn't think about it that way. I got to think on that one a little bit. Let's see. B-Rai says roll up on a player for each color. And if that equals the total needed for the monopoly. That's an interesting idea. I just wonder how that would play downstream in trying to determine if a monopoly was in place versus just checking at the time someone takes ownership if they have the other. Now each of the properties has, it's not fancy, but each of the properties has a color field. Yeah, each property would need to be, well, game property is a child. I think maybe we'll just do the logic. But each property has a color field which represents its set, and we probably can derive from that. Maybe we could create some relationships too in the long run that indicate what a property set is, but that might be more in the weeds than. So we'll add a monopoly field on the game property. Checkbox. Monopoly? Question mark? Is Monopoly? I'm doing a bad job with my descriptions and help text, which probably not alone in that behavior. Okay. That's some interesting logic we'll have to play out, right? You can't number of houses in the set. Got to have one on each before. It's a little bit. There's definitely some loopy validation mojo to do there. But that's okay. We can figure that out. All right. Game property knows its owner. It knows its game. It knows the property that it's representing. It knows if it has houses and hotels on it. It will know if it is a monopoly. It will know if it is mortgaged. What else do we need to know about a property in a game? Stare at the board a second. Let's see. The way, so you don't technically have a monopoly on railroads. You just have a multiplier on the rent based on the number that you have. That might be useful to track on the player to know the number of railroads, maybe. And then maybe the same for the utilities, because they work in, there's like 4x or 10x, that multiplier that comes into play. So that might be useful too. I guess it's good to know if a player is in jail, right? So we can checkbox that, because there's some stuff that a player needs to do to get out of jail. Player here. We were doing jail. Let's see. In jail is in jail. Oh, got a sidebar here. Is in jail. Okay. Is in jail. What else can a player... I guess it's helpful for us to know what property, what game property they're currently on. I don't think we have that. Call that current property, where, look at me typing stuff in those description and help fields, mostly so I don't forget what that's for. Give this a little bit more meaningful name. Okay, so from the player's perspective, we know what they're standing on. We know what game they're in. We know if they're in jail or not. We know how much money they have. We know which piece they are, super important. There was a question about whether or not we should relate them to users, or to users, or just use the owner field. I haven't decided on that yet. We'll see. Probably good to put them to users, because if there's like a company pool of like who's the most winning Monopoly player, we want to know that. So, but whether it's owner, it could be owner or not, because maybe there's something around ownership of the game and ownership of the player that we have to keep in mind. Actually, I'm saying all this stuff. We're going to need a user field for sure, because the game, the game's a master of player. Therefore, the owner of the game is the owner of the player record. Therefore, we need a user field to relate this to somebody in Salesforce. Oh man, that's what we got to do. Okay, and then a user would be a player in multiple games, potentially. That makes sense. Okay. I'm going to look up to a user, so that's cool. And probably useful to know whose turn it is in the game, and the sequence in which people play, right? So we kind of need a position, a sequence on the players. We'll make that a number. Call that sequence. This is the order in which players roll the dice. Okay. That's something the game would have to define. Well, you know, sometimes you roll to see who goes first. That might be something we have to figure out as part of the opening sequence of creating a game. But what's going to be rolling in this whole thing? Probably a random number generator, and okay, got sequence, current property. We probably need something that says, is this person the current player? Or current, what do you call that? Active player? We'll call it active. If you're active, then you're the one who's doing the rolling. Let's see, when checked, it's this player's turn. Should game store active player and then formula on player to check against the game. Interesting question. Interesting idea. Yeah, because we could just store the active player on the game itself. There can only be one. I'm not going to do anything with that yet, but I'm going to write that down because I think that could go... That might be the better way to do it, honestly. Because then the game is aware of the active player, you know, based on the sequence. So we'll come back to that one. Actually, I didn't even finish making this field, so to heck with it. I'm going to not come back to it. I'm going to do it right now. Let's go to the game. And look up to player. Call this active player. Okay. So looking at the game again, the game knows who the active player is. Knows about houses and hotels. I'm going to make a free parking bank. So we'll drop free parking stuff into that. Money when we have to pay it. And when somebody collects free parking, it all comes out, goes back to 0. All right, let's see. Let's do a little. Oh, lost my. Gotta get back over to my permission set here. Let's see. Take a lap through. I don't think we did anything with cards. Take a look at games. Definitely added some fields there. Games, let's check player. Ooh, we haven't done anything. We haven't done anything to the settings on this one. All right. So again, this is just our admin permission set. We'll have to figure out what, it's a super secure game. I mean, we can't have people cheating on each other, so we will have to figure out the security for a regular player, so the access is right, but they can't mess with stuff. Let me check game. Did we check game properties? I don't know if we. Nope. Got some new fields here. There we go. I think that was everything that we did today. Let's pull this back into VS Code. Let's pull, yes, let's do that. So let's see, where did we start with our object model and where did we end up? We definitely made a player object. I don't know if we're going to need a dice object. We created a card to represent chance and community chess. That's up above. I guess I'll pull that out of here. We made a game object. Money. I don't think we have to make an object for that. I think that's just fields. I don't think we need to get down to the understanding how many $500 bills there are in a Monopoly game. That always ended up just being an annoying, money conversion thing in paper, so we won't do anything with that. Hotels and houses, I think those are good enough rationalized as good catch by B-Rye about the limit on those. So we've got that in there. We've got a way to track how many are available in the game, how many have been purchased, and what the total is. We have a way of tracking the houses and hotels on the game properties, which that's another object that we created. I'll just note that because it's like our instance of properties, basically. So we did create that. So I don't think we need these bottom two. What I think would be kind of curious, and I don't know if it's cool or just me being nerdy, I feel like there's a lot of transactions that are about to happen in any Monopoly game, and it might be kind of fun, like just useless analytical kind of stuff to track those transactions as they occur. I don't think you need them long term, like after a game is over and you figure out who your winner is. It might be kind of cool to see like how much money transacted in this game, how many times did people go around the board, how many community chest landings were there, that kind of stuff that either we track, either it happens just in execution of logic or it leaves a little bit of a paper trail as some kind of transaction object. So that might be kind of an interesting thing to play with. See if that can, I could do. It's almost like, hey, every transaction starts with a roll or a trade. Maybe that could be interesting too. But we got a lot of object model together, and we got some little bit of data. Might add some more data so we can actually have a whole board in here. B Right just suggested or had a thoughts on game playing in real time, presumably with custom LWCs to drive it, versus async like old Facebook games, in which case you could drive the game using screen flows and send users custom notifications in org when it's their turn. I don't know. I haven't thought much about some of my thoughts around the UX are like, maybe like as a player, what do I need to know? It's my turn, so something needs to tell me it's my turn. I got to roll, and then I got to go somewhere, and then I got to make a decision on whether maybe I'm going to buy property, or I got to pay money, or I got to mortgage stuff. Go through the whole sequence of that. I'm sure that robots could make life easier around things like, say, you don't have enough money and you owe this person $1,200. Let the mortgage-o-matic process decide for you what properties to mortgage and how much money you get and that kind of thing. So it could be some interesting ways of doing this. Like you could log into an org, go to the app, see a game, look at the board, see where everybody's at. Maybe there could be like a Slack integration that this game will feed to your personal Slack channel. Like, hey, it's your turn in this game, do stuff, and could walk you through a workflow like right inside of Slack. There'd be some other ways to do notification too. Some real timiness would be neat if you were inside the app, so it could almost like go between real time and async, depending on, maybe you check into the game when you go into the org and go find your game, or you're async, and then that lets people just kind of keep playing, around you, unless they need you for a trade or it's your turn to roll or whatever. There's probably some autopilot that could happen here too, right? Like, the other rule I learned about recently, and I don't know if this was always the case, but the whole auction the property if nobody buys it thing, like that. We didn't play that way as a kid, and I learned about that recently and was like, wow, this, Monopoly games used to take forever because nobody would buy something. You'd go around the board 3 times so you could like bank some cash and then have enough money to buy something. But that whole like auction if nobody buys it, could kind of like put some autopilot into the game. So I think there's a lot of interesting use cases for this. If we could figure out how this game can generate revenue for businesses in their Salesforce orgs, if playing Monopoly was a prediction of the likelihood of deals to close or support tickets to come in, that would really help this take off, I think. But in lieu of those are there. There you have. Maybe salespeople could play Monopoly, and it replaces the properties with prospects names. And instead of doing round robin assignment of deals or of prospects, you go in and you play Monopoly with your fellow salespeople. And if you land on the property, you have to pay for the property, and then you can go run the deal. I don't know. I'm sure there's other goofy ways to correlate Monopoly to the real world, but for now, we've been rolling for about 3 hours. This is first episode of You Can't Do That on Salesforce. I'm gonna wrap it here at 3 hours. I'm gonna come back next Thursday. Do this again. I might do a little bit of homework in between here, but I think our next episode will be kind of building some of the actions that take place and actually make a game start moving forward. So super appreciate everybody that stopped in today, and we'll be back next Thursday. And if you have any thoughts, feedback, or questions, hit us up in the on the Twitch channel, and see you next week. Thanks, everyone.